NABN, New Africa Broadcasting Network.
Education in Nigeria has certainly not been where it used to be. Education, as we all know, is the key to success, growth, and way out of poverty in many civilized countries. In Nigeria, somehow, Nigeria's educational system seems to lag behind. Why is that? Today, it's all about education. We want to get to the bottom of it. We have today Dr. Popola, who is a beneficiary of the Nigerian educational system. He attended GCI, Government College Ibadan. He's also a professor. He was a lecturer in Nigeria in many Western universities in the Western states. Today, he's going to give us his view. Dr. Popola, welcome to our show.
Thank you so much, Ms. Joy, and I'm so happy, and hopefully we can talk about Nigerian education because it's something that I'm very passionate about as well. One, being a beneficiary of that, and two, also knowing that Nigeria gave a lot to many people, and we have to see from that point of view. Giving back to society via commitment to our own humble beginning is the most important thing a human being can do, even if not, irrespective of where you are. And somehow this has been lacking among Nigerians. And if we could throw a limelight to what education was, the culture, let's use that word, the culture of education in Nigeria at respective times, we can now see how things have been going. Instead of up, they've been going downhill. And one must not just despair or give up.
Yeah. In the 60s, 70s, and 80s, education in Nigeria was much, much better than what it is today. Take us down memory lane when you attended GCI, Government College Ibadan, and give us a little bit of an overview of what life was then and in comparison to now.
My GCI days, I'm very happy to talk about that at any time. One, I entered the school in 1971 at a very relatively small age of 11 years old.
Wow.
I was yet to become a 12-year-old. And from my elementary school, the headmaster, we used to call them, always told us our school was the best. And any school that outperforms us, it makes a case on us that, no, I thought you are supposed to be the best. So when I was admitted to GCI, I was the only student from my school admitted to GCI. So they made me understand the best from each school was picked to be in GCI. So I was going to GCI with the mind that, wow, I have to show that I'm going to be a capable representative of my school. This was a school that already has a culture. This was a school that already had a way to deal with every single student that comes in. This was a school that was used to the multi-ethnicity all over Nigeria. Okay, it's a boys-only school. However, the distribution, the discipline was just so different. GCI ethos is a different story. When the school was created, it was created in a little bit on a military style of running, because the first principal, HTC Field, I don't want to say Lieutenant Colonel HTC Field, was one of the military officers of the then colonial governments. He was also a senior educational officer, and he was actually at the level of Minister of Education, with military background, with administrative background, with academic background. He actually must have said it in his mind, I'm going to make the best out of this school. And he did really produce. But he came with about 6 other expatriates who were all ex-military, ex-administrators, and astute academicians. And so the boys developed not just the academic prowess, they developed excellently in sports, they developed also in trying to be very, very civilized people. That was the first thing. So when a new boy gets into GCI, the first thing is that whatever your background, whether you're from a rural family, whether you're from a rural area, you've never seen street lights before, you've been sitting in the what do you call it, the palace. When you get to GCI, it's like the first take off your robe, okay, and you come down to the level. We went along with the culture of that great school, that great citadel, and we have every thanks to our Lord for that privilege. We can't wish it better. I do not think any GCI boy will say, I wish something better, because they have the privilege that they got a kind of all round education.
What are some of the concepts and success stories of GCI?
From every set,
Yeah.
a number of highly dignified, very successful professionals and entrepreneurs came out of GCI. One big thing that when one looks back, we were given a culture that the community actually is more important to the person and contribution to our community and making our community the best. I think it was a huge concept of the founding fathers of GCI, the concept behind GCI and how it was operated and what invariably led the boys to excel in their various aspects of life. My objective today is to say that the GCI experiment, the GCI mode, will work with any group of students to create a better society.
So I hear that you have an All Boys Association for GCI in the North America. What is your numerical strength of the GCI Old Association?
GCI All Boys Association in America, we call GCI OBANA. It looks like a convoluted name. But several schools, when you talk to their old boys and old girls, they say, so and so is the up school. GCI wouldn't tell you that. GCI will continue to the up GCI. It's about us. I'm sorry about that, because I'm privileged to be the chairman of GCI All Boys Association in North America. That is the USA and Canada. And that's a big umbrella.
Wow.
And having all these big people with you, it's a big challenge.
It is.
And a humble service, which I really, really cherish. And on this point, I feel obliged to tell my colleagues and say thank you for giving me the privilege to come and be of a little service for a little time. I hope it works. GCI All Boys Association, interestingly, was formed in 1934. The first set of graduates from GCI began the GCI All Boys Association. There is no other school that had a commitment, and since that time the association has remained and lasted. The national headquarters is of course in Nigeria, and in North America we are a branch of national. GCI OBA North America in particular was formed just to make sure that GCI boys in North America are harnessed together. One, reminiscence is so important to us.
That is true.
We love ourselves. We like to anger one another. So we normally call ourselves old boys, and our ladies are called young girls. So every old boy has his young girl, usually attending all our functions.
What is the date for the end?
The end of this year is going to be from August 31st to September 3rd. In America, here, that's the Labor Day weekend. And because we are going to Las Vegas, we want to make sure that our young girls have the best of fun.
That's good.
Because we are going to take money from people, we better make them happy and comfortable. And certainly, but it's a tradition anyway, to make sure that GCI is, like I said, a very interesting concept and experiment. We want the principal to come over. The principal is relatively new principal to the school. But he's an old boy, and he was a former director of education of the ministry.
Okay.
Well grounded, and of course a typical GCI old boy himself. So it's obvious that we are the confluence of history now. I want to make the best of it. When the principal comes over, is going to be coming in the full regalia of the leading salesman of that beautiful culture called GCI, and of the new experiment the Oyo State government is doing to provisionally allow government councils to run some of these schools. Interestingly, the GCI Governing Council is the first one the government is trying to put in place. So the success of this possibly will influence other people to want to take over their own schools as well, partially. However, the GCI Governing Council means that GCI old boys, who are about 80% of that council as at now, will have to do more in running the school. So there is something at stake. We want to do what we'll be doing better because, like I said before, we now have a legal, constitutional, legislative reason. We are now a voice in how the school should be run. And one of the things that's going to happen that even this year, the entrance examination is coming back to GCI. Then the boarding houses, the dormitories, are going to come back this September. So it's a very big thing. So, and to do this, there is a lot of money that is needed.
That's right.
So this endo is different. But the third thing, which is very important, over here in America, several institutions, Princeton, Harvard, Yale, all these great schools normally have a program for high school students, sophomores and juniors in particular, to visit their schools during the summer holidays for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and kind of mentorship of tutelage, mentorship, let me call it that, whereby they come to the institution, they see how the university environment is, they attend classes with the students, they go to the laboratories of researchers, and so they are motivated. We think if we could let that experience be extended to GCI and Nigerian students, most of these students will be very motivated. So luckily we have some GCI boys as some of these notable, in some of these notable places. We have Professor Kiwande in MIT, we have Ogunfumi in Stanford, and all these people, Oguntimeyi and Adeboye, they are all legends.
GCI?
Legends.
Wow.
Adeboye and Oguntimeyi are called legends in their university. We have Jolok Pades in Chicago. So all the schools run this program, and hopefully we can see some of the excellent programs that are available to high school students here, and see whether we can take advantage of it as international,
That's a good idea.
what do you call it, international students that can take this advantage. So we're really looking forward at this endo, and I'm sure by the time we do this program and reach to the world, they will understand what we are saying. We might be able to go to charitable organizations and other foundations of education, and we want them to see what we are up to. It's about giving back, it's about supporting an already structured institution. We don't want it to disintegrate further. We want to rebuild it back up in the new perspective of what the world now offers. Up GCI, as we say.
Thank you so much. We also want to use this opportunity to congratulate you and to thank the GCI Old Boys Association, because it's not easy. A lot of these legendary schools back in Nigeria may not be emulating what you're doing, so this would be another way for us to appeal to all the old boys and girls associations to be able to give back and remember where they started from and never forget, you know, where they came
carry
from.
our word to them. In those days, these legacy schools competed against one another. But as old boys and old girls, we should now collaborate with one another, okay, and form a cohesive group that the culture that bred us, okay, is returned back and improved upon to have a better generation from, I mean, the current generation to get better and the future generation to get even better than the current generation.
Thank you so much. On that note, thank you so much for watching NABN TV, New Africa Broadcasting Network, your community TV station. My name is Joy Adedeji.
NABN, New Africa Broadcasting Network.